You are sent back in time to September 4th, 2011. Will you be able to stop 9/11?
You appear in the situation you were in on that date. House, money, relationships, everything. You cannot take anything back with you. You are the age you were in 2001, but have your current knowledge. Would you be able to save one person? Can you stop one plane? Will you even survive?
Considering I'm
3 years old at the time.
with the intelligence that I have currently,
I would call the FBI and tell them that I am from the future and that death is coming. Surely, they will believe me. Why wouldn't they believe me, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won't. Or maybe the Secret Service will show up to my doorstep asking me how I knew this would happen. It was an inside job. Or maybe call them and threaten them that I would destroy the World Trade Center myself. But would they believe a 3-year-old child with a squeaky voice telling them he would bomb the Twin Towers? There are multiple issues here. No one will take you serious if you're a child. You probably don't remember any of the attackers' names besides Bin Laden. And depending on your household situation, will you even be able to contact the appropriate people to stop it? Also, your current age is a factor. You might go back in time and end up chilling in a womb till your mother births you. But let's say you go back in time and you keep your current age. What would you do?
a Reddit user named Interfail has a good solution.
What if you buy 1,000 envelopes and stamps? You write a letter, print them off, and you send them everywhere. Every state, every Western nation, every US national news channel, newspaper and magazine, every federal representative, every airport, every airline. You throw in any celebrity you can find and a bunch of just random names from the phone book. If you get this mailing campaign right, this is all anyone's going to be talking about for the next week. You don't mention some of the key elements people would think are important. Dates, flights, numbers, targets, all that can change trivially. It might not even have been decided yet. You might want to throw in a reference to radical Islam or Al-Qaeda, but you just want people talking about exactly one thing: planes used as missiles. That if someone's plane gets hijacked, they don't just let them do it in the hope that it'll land safely like the dozen other hijackings they've heard about. You want everyone in the US talking about a hijacking where if they do nothing, everyone on the plane dies. Because back then, people might have hijacked planes, but it was all to hold people ransom till the plane lands. No one in their mind would imagine it being a suicide attack sacrificing hundreds of people. The key to this, you're not going to phrase this as a warning. You're sending it as a threat. That way, it gets taken more seriously. It's only when you're in the FBI custody that you start sharing any actual facts you can remember. I've got ceramic knives as the weapon, Mohammed Atta as a hijacker, Bin Laden and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed as coordinators, and the flight school was in Arizona. The Apple stock you bought will eventually cover your legal defense costs. The only reason 9/11 worked was that passengers thought they were going to survive if they just let lunatics make their demands and do their thing. The reason the TSA could never prevent another 9/11 was because it already couldn't have happened again. Once any passengers were aware it was going to be a suicide attack, that strategy didn't even last all of actual 9/11.
But there's one issue. If you go back in time, should you stop 9/11?
If you look at it morally, yes, you should. But doing this will have a lot of consequences. A butterfly effect that changes the course of time. Such a huge change in history. You'd basically erase most of the present day as it is currently. People you met would likely never cross paths with you. Wives or girlfriends would never happen. Kids would be different entirely. A slight deviation among millions of sperm would likely cause drastic changes. And besides that, the only reason we have such strict rules against potential terrorism is because so much damage was done during the attack. If you did stop the attack, a foiled terrorist attack could have just been the warm-up for a completely different attack, such as more traditional bombings, the method of lone wolf attacks on smaller targets but with the support of a large group. The end results would have been the same and the events would largely play out the same. So could you stop 9/11? Yes. Should you? Who knows?